how did y'all start living this whole dream life that it seems like y'all live? Either one of y'all can go first. Y'all how do we...
Well, it started technically an idea of a divorce. 15 years ago, we run a small business, right? And we just do everything ourselves. And I remember at that moment, everything is on me, right? Like, husband will come in, husband partners will come in and say, Phyllis, can you fix the printer? Phyllis, can you order the coffee? Phyllis, can you do the payroll? Phyllis, can you schedule somebody? And I was like, dude, like if you give me one more honey-do list or partner-do list, right, I am going to do something about it. And then I was like, man, this is not really the life that we need to live. So what else can we do? So that idea just started, giving me more thoughts and how can I solve this problem? And ever since then, I was like, okay, how can we leverage, right? The leverage word come into my head, delegation word come into my head, and it's like, what else can I do? And just so happened that day I picked up a phone call from a customer service representative, and I heard that they are from a foreign country. So I was like, well, who are you? And how can I get one of you to work with me at that moment? And they said, well, I'm actually not from the United States, but I can get your credit card information and your social security number. I was like, man, if that's gonna work, that's gonna work for me. So then I Google and research, and I found this thing called the virtual assistants and a remote worker. And that's how, our whole, journey started. And that's when I started to leverage and delegate. And anytime my husband tell me, hey, can you do this? I would just tell them, hey, Cherry, can you do that? She said, yes. Cherry, can you do that? She said, yes. Next thing I know, husband was starting to wonder, like, how come you are no longer stressed? And I was like, I'm never going to be stressed anymore. And he got really confused. And I was like, well, actually, I just hired this secret weapon, Cherry, who helped me do all the work. So now I'm focusing on what I truly want to do. And finally, I got the breath that I have never, experienced for a long time.
Wow.
And life have changed since then.
John 10:10 said, have life, have it more abundantly. And I think we need to all understand, where does it come from, right? We were asked a question before, who do you want to be when you grow up? So that question creates essentially this identity that you have to become somebody you're not, right? So we, for the first 15 years of our 21 years together, 20 years as business partners, we were seeking success, right? We chose to be entrepreneurs or business entrepreneurs, but really we were just business operators, right? We owned a self-employed job, right? And everything was on us. So success. So we didn't have life. So literally 5, almost 6 years ago, after that happened, we said, okay, what's happiness now? What does a dream life look like now? And the question...
That's a really good question, by the way.
Yeah, and questions are the answer, right? So the question that we actually asked, a different question, was, if time and money were no longer an issue, how would we be living? Right? Where are we at? Who are we with? Why are we there? And then you find out how, right? The tyranny of how. You don't figure out the how first. We were doing the how for 15 years. How do we be successful? How do we build this business? Then we'll be happy and have this amazing life, right? Have this success financially, then you can have a happy life. And we said, enough's enough. After she said that, I was like, okay, we obviously, because ultimately the formula for happiness is when your life conditions does not match your model of the world, right? What you want your life to be. So she was unhappy because at that time, we moved away from success driven and significance and certainty to people who wanted more love and connection. We wanted to be people who contributed more, who our children at that time, Alexander was 5 and Troy was 3. So she just wanted more time, right? And so we said, okay, if that's the case, then the way we're operating now does not match who we are. So we have to change that. So she's like, either we have to change this, or here's the ring back. Right, because I want more of us. Like, I don't want the ring back. Let's operate. Let's operate. Yeah. So that was where the shift in really diving into what does a dream life look like now.
Yeah, I think joining, we are part of your program, after joining your program, like one thing that you talk about is awareness, right? Like, everything is possible. Everybody has already done it. But the thing that you're missing is the awareness that what is out there, and awareness that that you can do it too.
Yeah. So last year, we finished 2025 only being home 29 days in our Dallas house.
Okay.
We went to 17 countries, 34 cities. We attended 16 in-person events. And then we attended also 6 events, while I think we did 11 vacations in between there. Wow. Right? And then our time with
11 vacations.
And then the time.
Say that again for the people in the back row, right?
Yeah. And then the time also with you. We spent a lot of time. That wasn't even in that schedule. So and the time with you. So and then this year, it's already end of March. We've actually only been home 7 days in our Dallas home.
So what country? Where have you been? What countries have you been to so far this year in 2026?
We started the year. We went to Indonesia first. Went to Indonesia, and then we went to Singapore. We went to Malaysia. We went to Japan. We went to Korea.
No, I mean this year.
This year. This just this year alone. Yeah, just this year.
And we're going to Laos. We're going to go to China and Vietnam and Thailand. And more to come
next month. So all those 4 other countries will be going next month when we get back in a week from now. So yeah, and then in the U.S. we've gone to I think already 6 or 7 states this year already. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And now we're living the life of I'm able to bring my children with us to go do business, do life, and go to different countries. So at this moment, it really gives us more energy than draining us the energy. Yeah.
So cool. So cool. How can you do that and be gone so much? Don't you have, who's running the business? What are we doing? What are we talking about?
Yeah, I mean, Genesis 1:28 says, "Be fruitful and multiply."
Okay.
Right? And I think that the part of that is we're all fruitful, right? God's the creator, created us. We are a creation of God, so we are fruitful. But the problem is most people don't think they're fruitful because they haven't. The B is important. Be fruitful. So the reason why we're able to do this is because we are fruitful. We're being fruitful. We have a lot to offer to the world. So we basically created an offer, right? Created a business. 20 years ago, we started a business together. December 3rd was our 20th year.
Wow.
And because we knew that we had so much to offer to the world. So we started a business. That's one way of doing it. But then how did we accomplish this? We did it wrong for the first 15 years. We were in our business. We weren't working on our business. We were, our business owned us. We didn't own it. Right, because we didn't have people.
I think a lot of people are like that.
100%, because you don't have people in place, you don't have processes in place. So for us, it's all about it's about implementation, because that's what it's all about. Implementation. It's not about information. It's about implementation through delegation and automation. That's it. So implementation through delegation, automation. So we really lean into the delegation part and the automation because there are people who complete you. Right, that allows us to stay in our strength zone, stay in our zone of genius. So there are people who are better than us, right? Who know things, who are experts at the thing, and quite honestly, if talk about what you're worth, for example, if you want to build a 7-figure business, and if you work 40 hours a week, that means that you are worth $500 per hour.
Wow.
So stop doing a $10 task. Right, just delegate that out. So for us, we really lean into delegation. Our kids are homeschooled. You had mentioned that. We have homeschool teachers that log in every single day. Right, Alex has been homeschooling for the last 7 years, and one of our VAs hops in and teaches them, right, and facilitates more so now than teach. Same thing with Troy, my wife, right? She does an amazing social media post about me. I get super excited. I run into the room. I say, "Oh, honey, that was such a sweet post." And then I'm walking out of the room. I'm like, something feels weird because she's got deers with headlights. And I'm like, "You didn't post that, did you?" She goes, "No." Right? One of our VAs did it. Right?
Delegate love too, baby.
Yeah, delegate love. It was like a Valentine's post. It was amazing. So we delegate everything, right? Ordering boba. Right, ordering flowers.
I don't know what boba is.
Drinks, coffee, Starbucks, whatever. Right,
Gotcha.
like that. We order. They order things. When we moved out of our house, I didn't call the movers, I didn't call the insurance, I didn't call the water, I didn't call electricity, I didn't call gas, phone, internet. They did all of it. We just do our thing, right? So
Wow.
somebody asked me, wait, can I? You're saying I could delegate my pool cleaning? 100%. How do they do that? Well, you have your VA call a pool company, so you don't have to, right? Time is the most expensive thing that we actually own.
1,000.
Because once you spend 1 second, you have one less second to spend, right? They don't realize that. But the reason why people don't realize that is because they're so used to trading their time, which is essentially trading their life
Well,
for money, right? Bronnie Ware wrote a book called Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. That's such a five. She helps people transition, and the first regret is that people would wish that they lived a life true to themselves instead of life what others expected them to be. Second is that they wish that they wouldn't have worked so hard. They basically were trading their time, which is their self, for money. Right? Those are the top 2 regrets, and that's literally what
Who wrote the book?
Bronnie Ware. It's called Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. It's an amazing book. She interviewed like thousands of people as they're passing.
Wow.
And she asked them what were their 5 biggest regrets, and those were the 5. She shared 5 biggest regrets, and that's what we do. That's why we're so passionate about helping people avoid regrets and live a life more of a life full of rewards instead of full of regrets.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we call them the virtual dream team because, everything about our business is all about dreams, right? And for me, I have a dream team member, right, who is Monique, who is my COO. She's from Philippines. She worked for 13 years for me now. She ran the whole operation. At the very beginning, she's only posting ads, right, doing basic EA work. Now she's working with me on all the high level, accounts, right? And that's what we have, and that's what we do to help you build a team. And I think dream team is different for everybody, right? For you, I know Stacy's a different dream team member than Didi, right? So for me, I have a big dream team that really support me. So to answer your question is yes, we do help people hire, whether it's for web developer, sales, EA, customer service, AI, just pretty much anything they can think about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, so one of our frameworks is Dream Team, which is what we teach on a 5-day challenge. Our 4th day, we talk about Dream Team. And Dream Team is basically, we have this thing called the Dream Team Dream Work Formula. And this is where most people don't really wake up doing what they love. They don't. They don't wake up doing what they're good at, right? So the Dream Team Dream Work Formula basically helps people say, stay in your zone of genius, right? Do what you love, do what you desire to do, and then, lean into your strengths, right? And then outsource your weaknesses.
Well,
That's the goal.
That's
That's
the game right
yeah,
there.
that's the name.
That's the game.
Yeah, because it's like people say, "Oh, work on your weaknesses." No, don't work on your weaknesses. Wherever you're strong is at, do more of that,
right.
right? And then the weaknesses, outsource it to a team.
Yeah, I remember every time we go, with you, Myron, to places. I remember the last time we were at Eddie V's eating steaks, and you're like, where's the event? So that I can drive there right now. And we know that the event is tomorrow, but hey, Myron doesn't know where the event is because, you're only focusing on what you're really good at, and the rest of them, you just delegate out to your team, and you know that they're going to take care of it really well.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, you're definitely living the framework that we call, right? So dream life, dream self, dream business, dream team. Like you're totally embodying all of it because there are things that we've asked you and you're like, I don't know. Then you shouldn't know because you want to get up on stage and do your thing, work your magic and all those things. And then when you show up on your channels and your content and all that stuff, you're basically totally aligned with your dream life, your dream self, and
I am.
you live unapologetically. That's who you actually are.
Yeah.
And then the work you do in terms of your dream business, you're aligned with your assignment. Dream life, we start there first.
Okay.
The first thing we start because, when I left Laos when I was 5 years old. And I remember the night that we left. There were these 3 gentlemen that came to my grandma's house. And they came there on motorcycles. They threw me, my brother, my sister on the backs of these bikes, and we just took off. scared, but then we also knew that grandma's letting us go, so this might be okay. So we left. It was right before nightfall. We get to the banks of the Mekong River where my mom is at with another gentleman, right? And I'm like, okay, now mom's there, so we feel safe. But we were there with several other families who were crossing every single night. So in Laos, from 79 or 78 to 81, people would cross Laos, escape Laos to go to Thailand to seek asylum. Our only job was to cross the Mekong River if we wanted to seek asylum for safety. So it's about 300 yards wide. I remember that night, nightfall happens. We hop in these makeshift canoes. We get to about halfway across, and then we hear gunshots. That's the first thing we hear is gunshots. And then we see gunshots, and then our canoe flips, right? So now I'm in the water. My mom's pulling me. I'm clinging onto her. She's swimming about 150 yards across to the Thai shores. We get there, the Thai military turns on their floodlights, and the Lao military has to stop shooting. Otherwise, it'd be an international incident. So we get
Wow, that's crazy.
yeah. So we get taken to a refugee camp called Napo refugee camp. We lived there for about a year, and then we got approval to come to the United States. So we came to the United States about a year later, and I watched my parents work so hard. They were on the government assistance programs for roughly only about 6 months, welfare, food stamps, and government housing. And then they said, "Man, I can live the American dream if I work hard enough." So I watched my mom and dad work 2 full-time jobs, Monday through Friday,
Each of them.
both of them,
Wow.
for about 11 years, and then another full-time job on the weekends, right, for about another 11 years until they can afford to move us away from the city and buy their first.
What city was it?
Minneapolis. That's where I
Okay.
grew up. Minneapolis. It was
Minneapolis.
called Murderapolis at that time.
Wow.
So we were living in such a bad neighborhood, but it took them about 11 years to really save up enough money just to buy a trailer home, a brand new trailer home, right? It wasn't even a house, a trailer home, to move us away from the city to the suburb. So the reason why Dream Life, and Phyllis will share her story as well, the reason why we focus so much on Dream Life is because, people live this life by default, right? Instead of life by design. And for us, it's we just said, if time and money were no longer an issue, how would we be living, right?
You
And let's
figured that
start
out
there. We
first.
figured that out after doing it wrong for 21 years of at least 16 years of our life together, and 15 years operating business. So we really focus on Dream Life first. So Phyllis has a very similar story of time and money. So time and money was something that we did not have a lot with our parents. She didn't either.
Yeah, I think at the very beginning, hanging out with this dude, on my first birthday, I was like, "Hey, can we go have dinner?" And he's like, "No, like this 20 people in my company, all life depend on me, so I cannot afford to go with you for a dinner." And I was like, "If I don't see a dinner with you on my birthday, I don't see a future with you. So I think we need to cut it quit." And he's like, "Oh, hold on. I think we do have time for dinner." So, so that is the guy that I met, right, and I hang out with, and and so I understand. I understand that he's so involved in the business because in his mind he's like, if I work really hard right now, I can give you a better future, right? But then a lot of time people forget about now. Forget about, hey, what are we doing right now? And I wanted to help people rewrite, right? I want to help all the entrepreneurs to rewrite their mindset and awareness too. You can actually play now and pay, you can pay now and play now, not pay now and play later. You can actually have, work-life integration, not necessarily just work first. And then when you're 60 and then this is what my mom said. I wish somebody told me that when I was 40 that I should start traveling the world. Because when I was 60, now I got the money, but I don't have the health, right? I got the money, I have the time, but I don't have the health. And, and I think this is really the God assignment for us because back then, mom also have breast cancer 12 years ago. And she's still here, which is amazing. But during that time, the doctor says she only has 3 to 5 years to live. So at that moment, we were in, deep work. And I was like, "Mom, I'm sorry. I couldn't go home to help you with, chemotherapy or anything. I was just remote because we're so deep in work, right? Responsibility, work, clients. Clients usually, with entrepreneur, usually clients come first before the family or the children, right? I remember kids always said, Mom, can you play with me? I'm so sorry, babe. I got one more phone call. Right? I could just got one more phone call I need to do before I can talk to you. By the time we talk to them, we only have our the rest of the energy, which is tired energy working with them. So they're like, I'm not connecting with you. And I was like, I don't want that. I don't want that kind of life anymore. So enough is enough. So I draw the line, and then I start restarting asking ourselves, what do we want? Before we run this, this new business, we have a real estate business, and we make a lot of money in the real estate business. However, we were tied to Dallas because I'm a Dallas, real estate realtor, and he's a real estate investor. So we always have to go back to Dallas, and we can travel like what we do right now. And that's when we re-ask ourselves, what does dream life look like? When money's not an issue, we can do what we want, when we want, who we want. What would that be look like for us? And the cool part is we figured it out, and we shut that down, and we started a new business, and now we can do that. So when we bring people in, the very first thing we really want to ask them is, what does dream life really look like for you? I know you have built a really successful business, but are you happy? Are you so just waking up? Would you be like Myron, say, I would never retire because I just so in love with what I'm doing. So it is like a play for me. I'm just playing in my playground, so I don't have to go home.
Wow,
Right.
wouldn't that be cool for a bunch of entrepreneurs
Yeah.
if their work became their playground?
Yes.
Which is ultimately what we're doing, because it's kind of like a destination, right? A map. You got to know where you want to go, right? You got to know the destination. So for us, dream life is the destination.
That's the
And
ultimate destination.
yeah, and for us, it's go. Our family motto is go where we want, when we want, stay as long as we want, bring as many people as we want.
Come on now.
That's our dream life. And
Well, you can bring me.
and your dream life is your version, right?
Right.
But that's our version. So we decided that's our destination first, and then we said, okay, find something, a vehicle, right, to fund and fuel this, and that's where then business comes in. That's where the dream business comes in. So dream life, dream self is about really deciding what that destination looks like. And then dream self is essentially staying authentic, true to yourself. To Bronnie Ware's point, the very first thing is the regret was I wish I lived a life true to myself instead of what others expect of me. So we got to understand, where does that come from? We were asked that question, right? Who do you want to be when you grow up? When I look at that, I'm like, that is 100% man's creation, right? Because just like me, I remember when
Right, because it means you're not something already.
exactly. In third grade, that was asked of me. And they gave me this box. They opened this box. I'm a third grade. I'm like, so I need to become somebody I'm not. So I chose this box, and they open it up. Are you going to be a doctor, dentist? So I have all these cards in front of me, and I chose engineer. So if I chose engineer, that means that I have to become an engineer. I have to go
Whether you
get,
like it or not.
yeah, I have to go get an education. So look at the math, right? You educate yourself for 25 years, you work for another 40, and then you live free for the last 10 or 15 years of your life. That math equation has problems, right?
Got problems with me.
It's got problems with me as well. So I'm like, that is so crazy. That's man's creation. So what do we got to do? We got to go look at God's creation. God, because becoming and being are two separate words. Becoming says you're not somebody yet. You have to become that person. That's man's creation. God's creation is, no, I created you because God knew you before you were born. Who are you? So that's when we realized we stepped into dream self was, who am I? So I want to be somebody who, wake up and does something I love. I want to wake up doing something I'm really great at. And I want to do something that God created me to do. I live out my purpose, my proficiency, my passion, and my purpose. That's it. The key there is delegation and leveraging other people. So if you had a physical business, right, you just create processes and systems to put people in place. So let's assume you own a real estate investing business.
Okay.
You know that you have to find properties. That means that you have to walk properties, for example, right? That doesn't mean that you have to be the one walking it, right? You can have a
Teach
project
somebody else.
manager, 100%.
Somebody else your process.
Yeah, project manager physically that loves that job, that can walk the properties, meet with the contractors, go buy all your supplies, things like that. You can leverage a realtor to buy the property for you. You can leverage a realtor to find the photographer, clean the house, and then list it for you. So you don't have to do that. You could run that from anywhere in the world as well. But the key there is still delegation and automation.
Yeah, so the truth is we have all walks of life in there. There's multi-level marketing company, there's a real estate company, there is coaches, regular business owners. We even coach some doctors, dentists to figure this part out, because I do believe that this is why we come up with in order for you to get your dream life, you have to have your dream self, right? Be happy no matter what you are and chose to be that. You have to have the dream business. And I really think that dream business is really important because that is God's assignment that you have. Don't fight and don't find the business that make you think that you're gonna make you the most money. Everybody has an assignment coming down. And if you grab that assignment, it's like a magnet. Like business would just grow, because you're just living
Because
the
you're living
true
on
you.
purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the third thing is, we obviously have our framework and system to teach you how to leverage. Do you want a brick and mortar? Do you want, a virtual team, right? Do you want to just work with a bunch of AI and don't have any human at all? Whichever the way is, our goal is to really craft it so that you will really truly live your dream life. And dream is different for anybody. I have friends who, hey, I love living in California and I would never wanted to travel like you. That's cool, right? I am a nomad, right? I am a biohacker. So, I just want to go figure out where to go biohacking. I'm a hiker, so I'm going to go hiking everywhere I go while I'm running my business, whatever that works for you.
Yeah. And the dream business part, my mom and dad, they made $2.4 million. The only problem is it took them 69 years combined to make that.
Wow.
So what I learned from that situation, is that my dad worked for his company for 36 years, my mom for 33 years. And it's not about the amount of money you make, it's about the speed in which you make it. So you actually have time to enjoy it, right?
So
Then
good.
my dad,
So good.
my dad lived that math. He educated himself for 25, even 27 years, even worked for, his company for 36 years and retired and lived free the last 11 years. And he passed away 11 years after he retired. But we gave him the best of his last 11 years. Why? Because we were in a position to do so, right?
So good,
Financially to
Keith.
do so. But so many people, this is the math that they follow. This is what they actually do. And our blessed test came in 2023, which is just 3 years ago, exactly about 3 years and a couple months. I went rock climbing, 40 feet up, and the harness wasn't on. They forgot to put the harness on me, and I didn't know that. I was up 40 feet, so I pushed off like normal, like I expected a harness to hold me, and I fell straight like a rock to the ground, right, with nothing hold on me. Busted my whole spine. I'm laying there. I can't feel my legs. I'm thinking I'm gonna be in a wheelchair, and I look up to God. I'm like, God, this is not true. There's no way I'll be in a wheelchair. There's no way. Thank God. About almost 30 minutes later, I started feeling back to my legs because God said, yeah, you're right. This is not true. You're not gonna be long in the wheelchair. So, but that was our blessed test because we really let go that time for almost a year. Actually, we stepped away from our business. Our team jumped in. They said, hey, boss, just take care of your family, take care of him.
Wow.
And we got it. We got it. So we really leaned into delegation even more about 3 years ago.
And I think that's even a stronger message for us, from God that, hey, there's a lot of people out there. They thought that they have unlimited amount of time to do whatever needed to do, and they already counting on themselves. But if that thing just happened to them, then they have no more business because they're not leveraging everything is on themselves. I mean, are you going to still take care of your business while you're in ICU, when something really happened to you? And I think that's the reason why we really started this framework and really want people to truly, truly, hey, you can actually take a year off if you want to and live your life and your business still running. People still love you and people still know who you are.
Yes, it's really uncomfortable at the very beginning. So if you're talking about like 40-hour work week, right, which is what most people where you all used to working 40-hour work weeks. And the reason why it's so hard is because people trade their own time for money, right? So they see that as a cost, right? So for example, if you're being paid $50 per hour right now, you're like, I need to hire somebody and pay them 10. That I'm taking away $10 of my 50. Well, that's why you got to look at what are you really worth, right? What are you really worth? So if you really are focused and your outcome is to do $1 million business, that means that you are worth $500 per hour. So hiring somebody for $10
was nothing.
that's nothing.
That's
It
only
costs-
that's only 2% of you.
Yeah. And
So that's what I always talk about when you're building a team. You will never ever, okay, I'm just telling you guys right now, you will never ever find another you because another you will not work for you. They will want to be you. However,
That's a very good point, Phil.
exactly. However, you can maybe find 5 of you who only perfect 20% of you. 20% in sales, 20% social media, 20% customer service, 20% in, AI development, 20% in, marketing, let's say. And those 20% of the person can be 100% of you on that part, and together they become you. And that is much more visible, and that's how I
now
get
your
myself
time's freed
away.
up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they are doing so much better than you, because 20% of you is how much time? Maybe 5 hours, right? And now you have somebody that's working 40 hours on that specific task,
Yeah.
so it can go so much deeper and so much more efficient, effective on that point. And that's how we really build our business. But again, if right now as our company, we're trying out AI. So in the near future, you might be just working with one person and working with a team. But majority of entrepreneur, what I notice is they are people person. So it's really 9 out of 10 times they prefer to work with someone. Like for me, I love working with a team. I love to brainstorm with a team. And I love the human side of the connection with a
Yeah, I get that.
person than an AI. In the near future, maybe, delegate to the person. I want them to think for me and then give me the answer, but leverage the AI. So, hey, you can have Myron's brain without talking to Myron, right? And get really good information and output from it.
And to your point, Myron, in order for you guys to have this life and do what we do, you have to be, right? The identity of shifting yourself from the doer to the delegator, that's a whole thing.
Right.
That's a whole
by
identity
itself.
thing, right?
Yeah.
If you look at Acts 6:22-4 says, the apostles appoint others so they can focus on prayer and ministry. It allowed them to focus on prayer and ministry because they delegated, right? They appointed people to do the things that they shouldn't be doing, can't do, don't want to do, so that they can focus on prayer and ministry. Your
So-
business is the same way.
So
Your relationship is the same way. Your life, your time with your children is the same way.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do that, it costs you more. So let's assume that you really believe that you're worth $500 per hour. That means that if you didn't hire these 5 people at $10 per hour, and you're looking at that cost of $50 per hour, well, you just lost out on $450 per hour. That's how I look at it. If you
So
don't take
good.
that action,
So
it
good.
costs you more not to hire
Right.
than it does to hire.
100%.
So
Yeah.
first is we have a 5-day challenge
Okay.
where each day we walk through we put some like the reason why we went through it, God had us go through it so that he can put us in a position to make this our purpose and our passion.
So it wouldn't be just theory.
No.
This is your
We're living it.
This is your lived
Yeah,
experience.
this is transformation at its best, at its core, because this is exactly who we are. That's why we're able to create content so easily. That's why we're able to teach and share and coach so easily, because this is us. We are the being, right? So day 1, we focus on dream life, right? What does that really look like? What's the destination?
Day 1 of your challenge.
Yeah, day 1 of our challenge.
Okay.
Day 2, we focus on dream self. Then we say, okay, now that you know of destination, let's really figure out where you are at. It's kind of like a GPS. It's not going to give you directions unless you tell it where you want to go.
Where you want to go.
Right? So that's a dream self. Where are you? Right? And then dream business. Now we got to pick a vehicle to get you there. Right? So this is a whole map thing. And then dream team is the entire map and directions and helping you walk you through how to actually drive this map so that you can actually close that gap between where you are to where you want to go.
Let's
Because
go.
we know what it's like to not have that map, not have the direction, not have the vehicle,
And that ain't fun.
all of that stuff. And because if you don't, then you're driving east looking for a sunset, right?
You're
It's
just going to find it.
you're not
ain't
going to
gonna
find
find
it.
it, period.
100%. And what that has actually done for us, it's like, let's talk about like God's work, right? Creation. We created our children, right? And they are like, because we chose to design and decide to live our life this way. Alexander, about 3 months ago, he's before he even turned 12, 11 years old, he's speaking on a stage of like 300 adults, and he was 11 years old. He's a speaker. Our youngest son, Troy, who's 10 years old, is a YouTuber, right? And they're in
Troy. Go Alex.
and they're in proximity with you, with Tony Robbins, with Russell Brunson. They're in proximity. They're doing things that they're launching businesses, right? They're sharing ideas. They're coaching people. They're training people, and they're consuming, right, so that they can create better. Like this is the life that we live because we decided to do this.
I was saying that the link to find our challenge is down below, but it's the dreamlifedreambusinesschallenge.com /Myron.
Cool.
Yeah, because
DreamLifeDreamBusiness.com /Myron.
dreamlifedreambusinesschallenge.com / Myron. because you don't experience life. You experience a life you focus on, right? And when we designed our life, our dream life, we really lean into that. We said we don't experience life. We experience a life we focus on.
Wow.
So what do we want to focus on? What do we want our children to focus on?
Focus on the things we desire.
Yeah. The dream life is about what we believe the framework of it is live an and life, not an or life.
Well,
Most people live an or life, right? I can only go here or there or have this or this. We're like, no, you can go there and there and there and have this and that and that.
come on now.
So live an and life, not just an or life. So that's
good,
the whole
Steve.
point of our
That's
challenge.
so good. So good.
I would say pay for speed. I would
Speed.
pay for speed.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that, the truth is, the first 10 years, we just pay for experience, pay for time. We just try and error, thinking that we know best, right? And life give us lesson, but it take us forever. And then we started to take coaching programs, right, to learn.
Oh, that's what you mean with pay for speed.
Yeah. And now I learned a new idea, new awareness, and then applied it. That's why, we got to, get to the 8 figures, in less, in a really, in less than 4 years. And because we now have awareness, right? Working with you, have, 100x our identity piece because, I was usually, I used to live in the sorry state instead of, this is who I am and don't be apologetic about it, right? That's a number one thing I learned from you. But if I don't have that, it's going to take me another 20, 30 years, be sorry about my whole life to everybody I do and not be successful, not really own who I am. So, and again, I pay for speed again with my people, right? I don't know how to do nowadays. I don't know how to do my payroll. I don't know how to do a video editing. I don't know how to turn on my Zoom, right? I don't even know. Sometimes I don't even know where's the website or what's the link. I mean, I kind of know, but I really don't know a lot of things, but I pay the people to manage the thing and get the things done. So now I got so much thing done within such a short period of time. And all I do is, pay for speed, pay for the knowledge, pay for the time, pay for the delegation. Yeah.
So good, Phyllis. So good. Cease, what would you say?
I'll share a parable with you.
Okay.
3 wise men, they're speaking at a conference. First wise man gets up, he says, I'm the wisest. All right, I'm wise because I learned from my mistakes. Second wise man walks on the stage and says, I'm actually wiser because I learned from other people's mistakes. The third wise man walks up and says, I'm actually the wisest because I learned from other people's successes, right? Model after success, right? There is abundance all around us.
All the time.
There's
all
ways
around us all the time.
all the time. And stop trying to get off the struggle bus yourself. There are people that are off that bus. There's people who avoid that bus. There are people who don't want to get on that bus and they're not on that bus with you, right? Figure out what they're doing. That's it. So for us, we looked at, I'm like, okay, for almost 15 years, we ran business the wrong way. We build a life the wrong way. I was like, who's doing this? Who's living their very best life? Who seems like they have an abundance of time and they're doing what they love. They're impacting the world. They're utilizing and leveraging people. Who is actually doing it? That's why pay for speed is one thing, but then you got to model after them.
Right.
Model what, you don't just pay for it and it becomes, that
It's
self-help.
osmosis.
Yeah, self-help becomes shelf-help type thing.
Right.
You gotta implement it and you gotta really lean into it and get out of your own way and say, okay, they're doing it, right? So what are they doing? And then most importantly, how are they doing it, right? And then what's vital to this is who are they? Model who they are, right?
So
Just
good.
model after their success. There's everybody just like you every single day. You just show up, right? The cool part is seeing you. It's like it doesn't matter who shows up; it's how you show up,
Right.
right? It's amazing, and that's it. You can just model after it. Just do that, or just run the plane, right?
Wow. So good, Cease. So good. Appreciate it. Glad to have you on.
Very much, Byron.
Thank you very much, Myron.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Hello, C. Savan here. I hope you enjoyed and took a lot from this video. And if you are looking to, live life on your terms, right, to be able to build a business also that allows you to live, to work, to earn from anywhere. If you're looking to delegate and automate with people, then we're inviting you to our Dream Life, Dream Business Challenge. And finally, if you took a lot from this video and you actually want more, please comment your biggest takeaways from this particular video, and most importantly, subscribe. It's free to do so, so that this way you can be alerted every single time we actually drop a video for you, some more additional training. And again, our content will not let you down. Again, thank you very much for listening to us. Thank you very much for being here. Let's, we'll see you on the next video.